Everybody, welcome for the 0 people that are still here. Nice. All right. Yeah, I can see people coming in. So I want to go over the market today a little bit. See, hey, can we steal 10x or how many x our portfolio in this market with altcoins, or is it off the table? I want to show some charts that I haven't shown before. I just ran upon this chart and I was like, fuck, this is bullish, man. This is really, really, really bullish, actually. And a couple of interesting things that I'm looking at the moment. And definitely feel free to ask your questions if you are in the live stream, if you're watching it back. Welcome to the watch back. And let's wait for some people to come in before we kick it off. In the meantime, I hope you had a great weekend. Touch some grass or concrete, whatever you're touching. Here in the Netherlands, it's terrible to be outside right now. So, hello. Yes, we can do 10x and better. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. That's the mindset. So, I just want to jump in, man. For the people that are watching it back, I don't want to waste your time today. So there are a lot of things in crypto right now showing that things are set up for something really, really, really nice. First of all, if you are now in the market and you feel like shit, I'm wrecked, I lost money, it's down. I understand that, and it sucks. I don't want to say out loud how much money I've lost so far. Well, lost like from the high until now. Is that really losing unrealized losses, right? I don't know. But I could have done some nice things with that. Definitely. Maybe send my kids to a private school with a massage every day, driving a Bentley. And I don't know. It's like, yeah, that happens. It's crypto, man. It happens, right? Fortunately, we should not compare to what we could have had. Crypto is full of could have, would have, should have, and if you look at things like that, then yeah, you're gonna make it really hard on yourself, right? However, I do want to mention real quick that the people who are selling now or don't believe now, right? Because the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair is sitting at lows right now, right? Ask yourself, like, is this really the time to be bearish? We had 3 years, right? We had 3 years. You weren't bearish, right? Now we are at lows, you're bearish. Like, and you can say like, oh, well, it's going lower. It can go lower, right? It can. Unfortunately, nobody has the answer if it could, or if it will, right? The thing is that people who they thought the same about Bitcoin here, right? And here in this area, you could have said like, well, it's going to 10K. We know some people who said that all the time, right? And yeah, it was possible. In this case, it didn't. And the people who were kind of waiting for that 10K to happen, they saw it grind up like, oh, wait, 10K, and then bam, 22. Like, oh, okay, yeah, just wait. Bam, 30. There they may have felt like, okay, maybe it's not going to 10K. Let's step in. And they stepped in at least twice as high as they could have, right? So twice as less gains. And yeah, same case, it could have gone to 10K, but overall, who cares, right? Who cares? 15, 18, 10, like, no. Let's not pick the bottom. And I see a lot of people now trying to pick the bottom with altcoins. Like, it will go lower. It might. But do you also realize that there is a lot more upside than potential downside? So why would you wait for the downside, the little downside that there might be to play out compared to all the potential upside that there will be? Then I feel like, yeah, right. Um, Maybe it's just time to get in, and if it goes a little lower in the meantime, whatever could happen, right? Could happen, definitely, because it can change like this. This chart is interesting. This is DEAI 01 Labs, and this thing was going down really hard, right? Really hard. Went down with 92%. People said it was dead. 92% down. You're talking about bull markets, it's down 92%. It's not a bull market. Even in a bull market, coins can go down a lot, right? In or at least before the bull market. If you look, this is a list with the top 10 altcoins in this cycle, at this stage of the market in 2017. We had Steam, for example. You don't even know this, but this was in the top 10 back then, right? And Steam went down from the top to the bottom with 98%, right? 98. This thing went down with 92, right? It doesn't sound like a big difference, but from this point, it is a big difference, right? This was 92. 98 would have been here. It was fucking wrecked, right? But that happened to this chart. Then it bounced with 250%. People thought like, whoa, it is dead. It's a bull market. Okay, let's step in. I don't have any money anymore, but let's step in with the last money that I have. And then it wrecked the last money that you had with another 80%. Fuck you, investors, right? That's what markets do. Well, people here, they had no money anymore, no beliefs anymore, nothing, right? Like this was like more terrible than you can ever imagine right now, right? If you think that this is bad, then this right here is like, no, no. And then it bounced, whatever, with 14,000%. All right, but it's more that because nobody believed here anymore. Nobody. No liquidity anymore. Nothing, right? Nothing. And then it can go up. Right? We are now, for a lot of coins, in this stage where things go down 80, 90%. Right? And the people who here said, like, it's dead, I'm out, they put in money, they got wrecked, they got out. The people who here said, let's invest, or here, or DCA, they are the ones that got the sickest gains of a lifetime. Cannot get that again, right? And it just feels so much like that period right now. And the market is already showing you, it's giving you hints left and right? Because, for example, with the AI, I mean, this thing went down again with 92%. It was that, right? But without an altcoin bull market, without an altcoin season, without any form of relief in the altcoin market so far, this thing already bounced 140%. Because the chart just shows like, hey, no liquidity left. Put some money in me, right? And I'll go. Right? And can you imagine if there's an alt season or a real reversal at least, right? Instead of, whatever the fuck this is. Right? That's like it. Like I said before, it doesn't take anything anymore. It doesn't take anything. Bitcoin is at 100K, right? At 100K. Realize that. So yeah, the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair is sitting at the low. But while Bitcoin is sitting at 100K, we need a little bounce, and altcoins can already explode on the dollar pair. Right? So therefore, I do feel like I get that people are bearish. But if you can get in or at least hold on at these prices, things can turn around so freaking fast, right? Here as well, the last market, right? When altcoins got wrecked, alt season was over, and then all of a sudden it just reversed like it was nothing, right? In the last week of December 2020, right? Last week, December 2020, for the altcoin market was here, right? This was basically where altcoins were grinding up, slow but steady. And here, that point was where they just went vertical. Really, like vertical. People did not see that coming. They were in the phase of, oh, it's getting wrecked. It's over. It's only making lower lows. You see it bounce and then it went down again. But it just changed like this, right? This happened overnight. I'm not saying it will, but it can happen. It could, maybe for all you know, tomorrow you will wake up and we're gonna do, right? Like, and you might feel like, oh, what's the reason? People didn't expect the reason right here, therefore it happened so drastically, right? If you are all expecting it, then we don't go down here in the first place, because otherwise people keep on buying it up because they expect that move up. So be prepared for the fact that, yeah, crypto can go down really hard. And we are now in that phase, right, for the altcoin market. It can also go up that hard. should not forget that. Really don't forget that. I think that's important to understand. CC said 4 years ago, same thing, some things never change. February 10, 4 years ago, he said, if you can't hold, you won't be rich, right? That was also still the phase of the market where it was already going up, but people were still skeptical, right? Because that was here. Yeah, people were like, we've been here before, right? And look what happened. So here they still were like, yeah, not gonna happen. And then it kept on going. People were like, okay, maybe it's time to get in, right? Here or like, no, it's no use. Believe here. Otherwise, the whole move up is like not gonna benefit you in any way. Right? And what could now happen? We are here. Can we go down here? Yeah, right. Like, of course. Don't expect like, oh, I'm gonna buy today and tomorrow it will reverse. No, you will buy today. Tomorrow it will probably be lower, and there will be a lot of people that tell you like, you see, it's not gonna. Doesn't matter. It's not for like this week. We invest, right, for this year at least. Please remember that. Please remember that. What's also interesting, I'm about to show a couple cool things, and I saw one chart that I feel like, whoa, I need to show that. But I need to wait for a little more people to get in, because this chart, I was already bullish, but this chart confirmed everything for me, really. But again, also what I notice is that a lot of people finally get it, right? Including myself. Like, QT is just standing in the way. And a lot of people now feel like, yeah, we won't get an alt season until we get the stop of QT, or maybe even get QE. It's true. Then again, it doesn't mean we cannot go up fucking hard without QE or with QT, right? If you overlay the Fed balance sheet on this, you see that we have been in QT for a long time. But in the meantime, the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair had bounces like crazy. But the problem is, here it bounced, for example, bounced 70% against Bitcoin. The thing is, though, that Bitcoin in that period was about 30K up to 40K. Right? So yeah, the altcoin market can bounce 70% against Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin is sitting at 40K, then yeah. Now Bitcoin is at 100K, right? Let it bounce 70% now. And you see that these bounces happen occasionally, right? Even with QT. So I'm not even talking about the fact that QT will eventually stop, because it will. Fed balance sheet can't go to zero, right? Then they have to print their way out of it, and then it's going up anyway, right? So, but even with QT, we can have these bounces. Yeah, as long Bitcoin is holding up, it's just a matter of time for the altcoin market to like really reverse hard at some point. Right? And it's now for a lot of people also just a time capitulation. It takes long, right? And yeah, it's what it is. On the other hand, is it exceptionally long? Like way longer than last cycle, for example? Not really, right? From the top of the last alt season until where we are right now, we are now in a downtrend for 1120 days. Right? The last time we had that top until alt season started was 1060 days. Right? So it's a little longer than last cycle, but it's a big difference. Like, yeah, 60 days, 2 months, right? So what? That's not that weird. I mean, in 2017, we got alt season in March, not in January. So there was also 2 months. I'm not like I don't want to try to tell you guys like, oh, it's all gonna be fantastic, and this. I'm only telling like, is there a reason for panic? Well, I don't know. I mean, based on the last cycle, it's not that different so far. And even if it's a little different, that's not weird. It's not gonna be all completely the same. That will be a little weird, actually. So yeah, no, I am not, and I'm about to show you a couple things that make me pretty excited actually. And with a genuine question like, hey, can we still 10x our bags? And to already give the 137 people that are here a spoiler alert, I think the chances are getting more and more and more likely, actually. But it's funny because I made some pools often, and I asked that question a couple months ago, and people said, yeah. And I asked a question not too long ago, and people said, no. Well, we are now lower, right? So if the end goal, like, that's not going to change, that's going to be wherever you want to put it, right? In the meantime, we are now lower, so we are further from that goal. So that's more access now, right? I mean, if you buy, like, a couple months ago, let's say we go back here, that's 80%, right? But if we buy now and we go there, it's 260%, right? So the lower we are getting now, the more access you will eventually make from that point, right? But it's only good if you can buy at these low prices. Um, and we'll get to that. But I do feel like, of course, the lower we go, the less trust people have that we will eventually go up. But remember, it's crypto. Like I said, it goes up and it goes down. It's not just once we are going down, it feels like we will go down forever. But that's not how it works, right? That's not the case. So I'm not mad about the whole situation, by the way. I will get into some chat, so keep putting them in, though. We'll get back to that. In the meantime, if you can like the video, would help me a lot, and yourself as well. Keeps me motivated to do this. Believe me, it's not that YouTube pays me enough to be bullish. Like, I get, like, I can show you, but it's like $300 a month or something like that. It's terrible. What I think is pretty interesting, that Pillow said, that Ethereum looks a lot like 2020, 2021. And it's kind of true. And this on the weekly chart, right? It's not some small time frame. But it's kind of the same pattern. And I'm, for one, very bullish on Ethereum. The gas fees on Ethereum are now 5 cents. Can you imagine? 5 cents. In a full bull, it's $500. I've been there. Like, when I started crypto, I had a couple $100 and I put it on the Ethereum chain. My transaction got stuck, and I had no money to push the transaction. So that's how I lost all my money in one cycle. It was the most stupid way to lose money. But it's just, Ethereum is just terrible in a bull market. But that says something like, hey, now it's good to buy and to do stuff and to prepare. Because in the bull market, you can't even pay to do that, right? So yeah, I don't know. This is crazy. These prices, insane, really, really insane. What's also interesting about Ethereum is that traders opened the largest short position in history. So never there was so many shorts put on Ethereum as now, right? And that you can be like, hey, yeah, everybody expects Ethereum to go down, so everybody's shorting it. You know, the masses are usually wrong. But you have to realize that if Ethereum now goes up and the shorts will get liquidated, Ethereum will completely explode, right? All these shorts will get closed, and the price of Ethereum will do insane if that happens. Right now, if I look at ETH, I mean, chart-wise, it's not the best kind of pattern to open short, right? If you short here, I get that as a short-term trade. But if this is the range, right? Trend line, trend line, trend line, trend line, and this is the area where it gets rejected. Why the fuck would you open a short at that trend line? Isn't that the place where you open longs? So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a mass liquidation of all these shorters and that Ethereum will go completely crazy. I think Ethereum will go completely crazy anyway, especially if you look at it on the Bitcoin pair. Then I feel like, ooh, this is really a great time to buy. Like, can it go lower? Yeah, but like, if you look at a chart like this, it's not some kind of a shitcoin. It's Ethereum, right? Like, it's not a meme coin created yesterday. This on the minute chart that looks like this. Yeah, that's likely to not, get back up again. But it's fucking Ethereum that we're talking about. And if you look at the Ethereum dominance, I don't know. It doesn't look bad to me. So Yeah. But I want to show a chart that's really, really, really interesting. Um, but overall, why I'm so bullish again is that, look, if altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, that's the reason why altcoins get wrecked right now, right? I mean, Ethereum or Bitcoin is doing well. Like that's not the problem. Ethereum is sitting at 100K. What are we talking about? The narratives have never been that strong, right? And Bitcoin is really about going up, consolidating for a long while, next leg, consolidating, next leg, consolidating, next leg, consolidate. Like that's this Bitcoin's bull market. Fine, right? Fucking bullish chart, really. Total crypto market as well. If you look, we had the all-time high in 2021. We broke above it. We retested a couple times. We had 1 week below it. That's fine, but it was a week, right? And we are now still above it, also looking fine. So the problem is not Bitcoin. The problem is not the altcoin. The problem is altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, right? That's the problem. Yeah, at a certain point, this will get back up again. And then altcoins on the dollar pair will do crazy. Unless Bitcoin just decides to freaking tank, right? Given the structure that I just showed, Bitcoin doesn't look bearish. Given the seasonality, beginning post-halving year, freaking bullish. Given the peak indicators, this is on CoinGlass, and this has a lot of indicators, right? MVRVZ, bubble index, pure multiple, pi cycle. They have 30 indicators like that. Top indicators. None of them have flash yet. None, right? None. And I am not saying like, oh, these indicators are always right. But if you put 30 different ones and not a single one has flashed, then it's pretty safe to say that combined with all the other things, that the top for Bitcoin is not in. That's a brain dead kind of conclusion for me. So Bitcoin is not likely to ruin the party, right? Then what can ruin it? That altcoins will go down on their Bitcoin pair forever, right? That's the only option left. Well, I don't think that that's gonna happen. I don't think that that's gonna happen. Because that never happens, right? We have periods where it goes down and where it like at a certain point money rotates, and we will get stopping of QT at some point, right? So yeah, and again, Ethereum looks pretty bullish in my opinion. But again, there is one chart I want to show you guys. I want to show you. That's really cool. But I want to go over a couple of comments in the chat first. Good morning, mostly good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Absolutely not. I don't know what, by the way, what the response is. Absolutely not, but maybe. I don't know what you're responding to. A lot of people are not bullish. Yeah, and that's great in my opinion. That's great, right? People are bearish, and that's good. If everybody was bullish, then the prices wouldn't be that low. So that's a good thing, right? And again, for Bitcoin as well, here everybody was bearish. Yeah, therefore it was a great buy. So yeah, like the fact that people are bearish is actually bullish. You have to understand that, right? And it's really now getting massively pushed. Like people don't feel like, oh yeah, everybody's bearish. Let me be. No, you are really bearish right now, right? Most people, and therefore I feel like okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Good basic. That's Dutch for shut up, which is stupid. No, that's thank you. Your thoughts on the Bitcoin dominance stop? I don't look at Bitcoin dominance too much. I think it's a bullshit chart. I know a lot of people talk about it. Why I think it's a bullshit chart? Because this also includes stables, right? So theoretically, if everybody now puts their money from Bitcoin into USDT, the Bitcoin dominance will go down, right? Because less money is going in Bitcoin. But it doesn't mean that altcoins are going up because that's going into USDT. So therefore, I feel like this chart is a little. I'd rather look at a couple other charts that I look at. One of them is the Bitcoin dominance excluding stablecoins, and I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, that latest wick got us right exactly to the 786, And if I draw it completely right, and then we got that rejection. Yeah, this might be that final blow off top like we had over here before we went into alt. I don't know. I mean, the Bitcoin dominance itself, yeah, there's no way to predict it, right? You can look at this and be like, yeah, this has to go to the 786, and in that case, we can go to 66%. Could happen. But I think overall, I cannot give a number because that will be wrong. But overall, we are closer to the top than the bottom, right? But it's funny here, nobody cared about all of this here also, and now people feel like, oh, Bitcoin dominance, yes. Like now what? Like this is where you convert altcoins into Bitcoin, and this is where you convert Bitcoin into altcoins, right? And yeah, now we're sitting way higher to the top than the bottom. So for me, it's like, okay, it doesn't change much. Even if we go a little higher, yeah, let's get a little more wrecked in the meantime. Doesn't matter. Hi FOMO. Hi Cryptoland. Welcome. Happy you joining. Bitcoin dominance has stopped. USDT dominance has also. Let's hope. Again, I don't know for the Bitcoin dominance if it has stopped. Wouldn't surprise me, but to be honest, I don't know. USDT dominance. Yeah, I mean, look, this is kind of the range right now, right? Where we have the lower side of the range, top side of the range. This is bad for altcoins. This is good for altcoins. And at a certain point, it has to do something outside of the range. If we go here, this bear market, in my opinion. If we break this is the full-blown bull market, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like this move is going to happen at a certain point. I mean, if you look at the longer term, high, lower, high, lower, high. Yeah, I think we have a real good year coming. So, and like a painfully good year. Like there are now a lot of people, when you look at altcoins, they were like super, super, super bullish all the way down. Now we are here, they're bearish, right? I think that at a certain point we will go up, and all the people that were bearish are going to get wrecked on the way up. They get left behind, they FOMO in at the top. That's the painfully good year. I'm not going. Like, if you want me to go with the bearish sentiment, because I get a lot of I really get like, not hateful maybe, but like real negative about me, like, oh, that I'm now bullish, right? Yeah, guys, sorry, but I'm not gonna now be bearish. Like, is that what you want me to do, really? Like, no, sorry. If it goes against your feelings, sorry for that, but your feelings are wrong. I'm not gonna do that. I will be bullish here, and I will be bearish. Like when people say like FOMO, it's all going up. What the fuck are you gonna be? Yeah, like that's the time. Like when everybody talks about, oh, we should never sell. It's all going up forever. I will be talking about selling. I will never please you, sir. You will always hate me. That's just what I try to do. You're the truth. I don't know. I don't know. I just try to not. All I'm doing is just not trying to get emotions involved. That's literally all I'm doing. So yeah. I'm hearing a lot of, oh, my face is gone. Consider yourself lucky. I'm hearing a lot of KOLs saying that most coins in this alt season will do a max 3x, including medium and small coins. Most influencers in crypto don't do throughout research to back up their claims. That's kind of the thing that bothers me a lot as well. A lot of people, they come with a lot of conclusions, but they usually don't tell why, right? I get that a lot as well. Like, oh, alt season not going to happen, or it's not. And then I always ask why, but there's never a reason. But at 3x, like, again, I don't get that really, because here people were talking about a 3x. Like if you just go to an to this chart, for example, the EAI, right? People here were talking about, oh, this is going to $2, right? 3x. But now, where's that $2? Right? What the target should not have been changed. So if it now goes to $2, it's a 12x. right? So I mean, the lower we go, the more multiples it will make, right? I mean, for every altcoin goes, you had a target, right? There is a target where it will eventually go. Why is that target eventually going to change if we first go down? So again, if we look at an AVAX, for example, like I said earlier, I think that AVAX can go well to 150, 150,000, $150, right? Here, that seemed pretty reasonable at $60. People say, oh, 150 is just 2x, right? Can go there. But now it's sitting at $25, right? My $150 hasn't changed, but that's a 6x from here. I don't know. Again, the lower it goes, if you have money, the more money you will make. It's that simple because you are further from the eventual target price, right? So I don't know why they say like in this alt, like again, if people say that there will be an alt season, then how do they feel like, oh, there's only going to be a 3x? We already had coins doing, like, for example, AVAX is an high cap, doing an 8x without an alt season. How are we going to get a 3x with an alt season? Like, I think a lot of people, they are now, they put in unrealistic targets. Now we are down, they feel like, oh, we should maybe manage expectations. No, now it's the time to actually stick to those targets. And they feel unrealistic because it's all 10x away from here. But yeah, look how much we came down. Going back to old prices is for a lot of coins already at 10x. Like, it's not undoable for like easy. Like, people were so bullish on meme coins, right? Bread going to $1. We're now at 4 cents. If you still believe in the dollar, great, it's 20x from here, right? I don't know. Bread going just back to its old all-time high, where we were not too long ago, like 2 months, is a 5x from this point. We have the higher cap coins now actually giving us returns that you usually had to pick the low caps for and the risky ones. We can now invest relative safe and get those returns, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't know. One chart that I said like, "Ooh, this chart is bullish," is this chart right here. This is very interesting, I think. This is others. Let me explain this. Total 3 minus others. So total 3 is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. But then minus others as well. And others is everything outside of the top 10. So what do you then get? The top 10, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's like only the high cap coins, basically. XRP, Cardano, Doge, like 7 or 8 high cap coins, right? So the high cap market. So that's others, the low cap market on its high cap pair, basically. So this chart shows how the low cap coins are doing against the high cap coins, right? Most of us are not in the high caps, in the XRPs, Cardanos, but we are lower than that. We are not lower than that. You know what I mean, right? So this chart more represents our altcoins against the higher cap altcoins. Now this is down, right? This white trend line is interesting, I think. I mean, it's been holding it pretty well, but let's think that away for a second, and let's say that this is an oscillator, right? This is the lower side of it, and I've drawn this as a last kind of support, but this is the higher side of it. For the last 5 years, this has been oscillating. We are now at the bottom, right? We can stay here for a while. I mean, here we went down and we stayed there from August 2021 to October 2021, right? So we don't have to go up right away. But at a certain point, this will turn up again. And that kind of means that the low caps will catch up on the high caps. And that's why we see this doesn't happen that often, as you can see. But when it happens, that's the explosion in your portfolio. Because let's overlay the actual altcoin market on this, right? And that's where it made me quite bullish. Because what you'll notice every time this gets to the top side of the range, that marks somewhat of a cycle high, right? Last time we were there, we had our mid-cycle rally. Time before that, we had the bull market top in 2021. Time before that, we had that first bull market top, like 2021 had two tops, right? It always marks a huge top. Now it's interesting because now we are at lows. Here again, we are at these lows. Last time we were here, there was basically the low for the altcoin market. Now we are there again, but now we are sitting way higher. So if we now turn up again, yeah, then we take out these highs on the altcoin market easily, right? Easily. The last time we were at the altcoin market at this level right here, which was not that far from where we are right now, but this chart was sitting at the top. So if we now go back to the top, the altcoin market will probably make new cycle highs easily. And again, this has been ranging like this for 5 years. And it doesn't get to the stop very often, so it can take a long while, right? It can take a long time. But that would mark a huge cycle top for altcoins. And that would mean they will go way higher than where they are right now. So if I look at that chart with the altcoin market overlaid on it, this was the cherry on top for me. I was already pretty like, oh, altcoins, everything screams buying, and all the reverse charts show resistance. It's all looking good. But this showed to me like, man, even the money shifting from high caps to low caps now sits at the point like, whoa, if this turns around, then it's really party on, really, really hard. And again, the last time this happened, the altcoin market went from 100 billion to like 350 billion, right? Yeah, that was the time where like if you overlay certain altcoins on this, we just looked at a bread, for example, right? If we overlay bread on it, you can wrong time frame. Let me get an older chart right there. I think Bybit has it. Yeah, if we overlay, no, not enough history. Fuck, whatever. But some coins, my point is, some coins, they did so much more than a 3x right here, right? Like so crazy. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna play out. If you are in the Alpha Factory, by the way, I will make a section right there with a trading view course, basically, where I'm gonna show how you do the simple charting like this, right? This is the simple charting, like support, resistance, looking at things on the Bitcoin pair, combining certain charts like these to get a good idea, to show you like, hey, what are the things that I'm looking at that really helped me, right? So yeah, do check it out. There's a link in the thing below. Someone says the sentiment is so bearish. It feels like everybody was all in January and hanging on loss. Feels like that. Yeah, definitely feels like that. And I get it. I in the Telegram, there's someone in the group as well, and that person is really bearish. And I thought like, where's this coming from? But he's like really pushing it. And then I saw his messages from December, and he said like, oh, I'm all in there, and that bottomed, and I'm buying this. And I felt like, oh, I get it. Right? December, you were bullish here, and now it did this, so now you're bearish. I get where it's coming from for a lot of people, and it sucks. It sucks because a lot of people lost a lot of money, definitely. But try to not, that's emotion, right? Try to look at charts like on a lot of charts for coins, you won't find bottoms. That's the problem, right? If you are in a certain altcoin, you won't find a bottom on it very quickly. Ultra, for example, look, wrecked. If you are an ultra, then you are fucked, right? There's not a better time to like. There was not a good time to buy this so far. So this doesn't give hope. And a lot of people, they look at their own charts and they look at charts like this, or Celestia, same chart, or whatever. That doesn't give hope. So I understand the bearishness. But then again, I try to look at how's the total market looking? But also, again, how is the low caps looking against the high caps? They do have history. They do show like, but this can bounce, right? So your coins might as well. Not all of them, but overall, they could. 15K to 108K with millions of new coins. Oh yeah, Bitcoin from 15K to 108K with millions of new coins. Retail dump on veterans on pump fun. What else people want? Not sure what the message is. Is that bullish for you or not? I don't get it, but it's early for me and I need my coffee. But the crypto market is alive. I mean, that's what you're at least saying, right? And it is. Bitcoin is doing fantastic. And a lot of people, pump fund was the narrative, right? And a lot of new coins are created. But look, the thing with these new coins, it is, for me, not that bad. Look, if you look at the new coins on mostly on Solana, there are 38 million altcoins right now. 28 or 29 is on Solana. Like I said earlier, I know maybe 30 good coins on Solana, but for fuck's sake, not 20 million, right? Why? These are dead. The liquidity is not going to go there, right? So people sometimes say like, oh, there are too many altcoins. They're already dead. Nobody knows them. It's not a problem, right? And the inflation from 2017 bull market until 2021 was like 200x. Now it's 13x. It's not a problem. And where's the money eventually going? Mostly to scammers, right? On pump fund. What do? They put it back into the crypto market, because if they're smart enough to scam people like that, they understand that the crypto market will make them more money. Or they buy freaking Lambos, right? Also fine, because guess what? The people that are going to do that, sell them these Lambos, it's retail that gets into the crypto market again. It's not that the money is gone, right? Money is not gone or anything. It's just from person A to person B. So yeah. My favorite fodder. How are you doing, Drew? It's always so funny. No matter what I show, some people, they will stay being perma bear on the lows. Sometimes I can't help people. It's beautiful. But he says, I expect a minus 50%, I think a 50% drawdown for altcoins. Keep selling dreams. Bro, look, you know what it is, man. I can't help you. I already noticed that. I think you have what you want. The thing is, though, can it go down 50%? Yeah, it can. Can it also not go down 50%? It can. At a certain point, you have to let go of your emotions. I think, I'm not sure if you are a dude or a girl or a dog, maybe. I'm not sure. But you are so emotional. And I get that. A lot of people are really emotional. But that is going to wreck you. And guess why I am making this content? Not because I'm getting paid for this kind of stuff, right? I really try to make sure that I'm the only YouTuber basically out there that's not talking bullshit. I'm not like Crypto Banter making these at the bottom. Like I, at the bottom, try to talk about the fact that, hey, it sucks, but that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity, right? If you don't like the lows, then you also don't buy the lows. I mean, you are really bearish. A lot of people are, right? I get that. But if you are bearish, you don't buy, right? I assume. But if you don't buy, then you don't make money when it's up again. So when are you gonna buy? If you're bullish, if you only turn bullish when the chart is up, then it means you only buy when the chart is up. So then you also don't make money. So thinking this way will never make you money. Never. Right? So try to understand that, man. Like, I get the emotion, but if you want to make money, you should really try to learn to let go of that emotion and try to see things as an opportunity. because it doesn't matter what I show. Also, if I show like, hey, last market, a lot of people here were like you. They said it's over, it's not gonna happen, and they missed out on an insane gain. And everything is showing that. But the only thing that people now still have left to say is, "No, it's not gonna go up." But why? Because I'm wrecked. Yeah. I get it. I get it. I can't blame you. But you are doing the wrong thing. And even if it turns out that this cycle is going to be different, then it doesn't mean that betting on the fact that it's going up is the wrong thing. We don't know what's going to happen, right? That we can only tell once it happens. But betting on buying at the bottom or at least at lows is better than betting on selling or not buying at lows. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to. Sometimes I feel like, man, there are certain people, they are too much stuck in their emotion, and that's maybe it's your first cycle. Maybe you have to make the mistake. I had to make. People could tell me anything in 2017. I give shit. I had to make my mistakes, and only then I was like, okay, you know, I did something wrong. Let's not blame the market. I fucked it up. It's also maybe personality. I don't know. I had that terrible personality, so I get that. Smash the likes. Yeah, that would help definitely. Question: short but sharp. We have a better chance of 10xing now than we did a month ago. Yeah, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that after a couple comments, but for sure, easily, right? And again, don't try to look at coins and be like, oh, they're down so much, it's over. Again, one example, this coin went down 98%. 98, right? For a lot of people, they don't even realize how much 98% is, okay? But if we go, for example, to AVAX, 98% down would put AVAX at $1. Can you imagine? It would put render at 20 cents. Bread, that a lot of people love or loved or whatever they do with it right now, at half a cent. It's insane. If 98% happens to your portfolio, I won't see you again. I'm sure of that. And even that wasn't that. So if you now feel like, oh, it's down 80%, it won't come back, think about this. Then think about this. It can even go down 98% and go in the sickest alt season run ever, right? So it's not over after a simple 80% correction, right? This thing went from $5 to 6 cents, right? A lot of coins now down 80%. If this thing would have gone down 80%, would have gone to 10 cents or $1, right? $1, not 6 cents. Like, what the difference is huge, right? Huge. When does he stop yapping? What's yapping? Yeah, sorry, I'm not an Americano, so I don't know. Yap, is that that? Is that yapping? Wait, let me search for that. What's yapping? Means kef. I don't know. I also know. I also don't know what the Dutch word means. I don't know what the fuck you mean, man. Anyway, I feel like it wasn't that nice what you said, but for you. Hey, man, I've been holding GFAL way too long. Price so low right now, where it's at the point where it does not make sense selling. Your thoughts around the project? I think indeed a lot of coins are now at the point that you feel like, yeah, why would I sell now, right? It's the same as people holding Bitcoin in the bear market and at 17, 18K saying, well, you know what, I'm gonna sell because it will go way lower. Maybe it goes down a little lower, but maybe it doesn't. Right? But what's the point of selling now? Right? Now too late, indeed. GFL. Yeah. Look, same thing. I mean, GFL with 88%. Yeah, not exceptional, right? The thing is like, hey, is it gonna come back? That's the question. Therefore, in this stage of the market, I said like, hey, it's maybe better to look at these coins on their Bitcoin pair, right? Because on its Bitcoin pair, it's been getting freaking wrecked. So let's say Bitcoin is now going down to 70K. GFL will be like, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there because GFL is falling way harder, right? If Bitcoin is going down 30%, GFL is going down at least another 70%, right? At least. And in that case, yeah, you just don't want to be there, right? However, does it mean it's over for GFL? Yeah, chart-wise, there's nothing we can say because again, if we look at this, things can fall 98% and it's still not that. So that's the thing. I think with a lot of projects, you one have to have faith in the market. Otherwise, you can look at all these projects, but what does it matter then? And two, if you have your faith in the market, study the project, study the faith of the founders as well. Like Trip Hawkins is in the team. What's his take on crypto now? Is he one of those one of these guys that shits their pants on every 80% correction? Yeah, then you don't want to be there. But if the team is also like, guys, we've been here, then it's a lot more comfortable, right? Are you still bullish on gaming? Yeah, like I said in the last stream, gaming will be the biggest narrative in crypto ever. But that's for me too obvious because it already has the biggest use case outside of crypto and it goes together very well with crypto and it's being built right in front of us, right? It's just a matter of time. Like when is it going to happen, this cycle or the next cycle? But gaming will be big. It just like the gaming industry isn't built in a couple of years. It takes a lot of time. Thoughts on Supra? I have a little bit. Why? It's my moonshot. It's my AVAX. Why do I say that? If you look at the total crypto market and we overlay AVAX on the chart, then you can see AVAX when the market started to really break out right here, right? This is the altcoin market and purple is AVAX. When the market started to break out, AVAX was born. And it was at a $10 million market cap and it went to 2 billion and etc. But when the market really went on a rampage, that's where AVAX exploded, right? It came at a good time. It was beautiful. Now it feels like Supra is making the same kind of move, actually, right? Also, in this stage of the market, Supra comes out at a valuation of, was it a couple million, not too much, right? And yeah, I don't know. It's for me, that's my AVAX. It's a big risk, a big bet. It's super high risk coin, but I do gamble on it. On its Bitcoin pair, it's, let me check. Yeah, I mean, it's not holding up fantastic or anything, right? So therefore I don't have a huge bag because the chart looks like crap. And again, it has some room right here. But I'm not throwing money in and in and in. That was also my mistake that I made earlier in the last cycle. Like it went down, let me buy more. Went down, let me buy more. Down, buy more. Right? Like, oh, be a little careful there. Paid is also an example like that. It keeps on going down. Yeah, how long do you want a DCA? Right? At a certain point, sometimes the best trade is no trade for a lot of coins. Yeah. I will watch later at 4x speed. Dude, I want to see myself at 4x speed. That's some ADHD right there, man. That's cool. Some of you are so dim. seems like we have a load of little. I think, nah, I think it has nothing. Like, I don't know. I think for a lot of people, it's their first cycle, and they get wrecked, and they feel like crap, and that's normal. Um, Again, it's not the right move, but it's not like weird. I was there as well. So yeah, Bitcoin trying to break the 200 MA on the 1 hour. Yeah, I don't look at 1 hour charts too much. I feel like the short term, whatever, doesn't really matter. Could be that it's trying to break the 200 moving average, but I feel like, man, I look at weeklies, and that also helps me understand the bigger picture a little better. Love you for being bullish, of course. Like, it's beginning post halving year, Bitcoin is doing well, everything is super low. Like, this is the time, like, to load up, really. Um, so yeah, and the next cycle I will talk about with Bitcoin way longer, but also about more about taking profits, even, right? Because it feels good to have cash right now. I can't lie. Like, I'm not even right away deploying it, but just knowing that, hey, if it goes down, I have something, like, I can take advantage. That's fine, right? It's fine. Pizzino brothers are bearish. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, is he? He was always quite bullish, actually, right? Not sure. Um, What has QE or QT to do with altcoins? Like, that money doesn't go in alts. Yeah, it has a lot to do with it, actually. Yeah, definitely. I mean, more money in the world, people taking risk, and altcoins are lower or higher on the risk curve, so they are even the. It has the biggest impact on altcoins, right? It doesn't really have an impact on Bitcoin, right? QT is like, if there's less money on the balance sheet, like, people cannot take loans, etc. People, they don't can't afford literally to take risk, right? The thing is, though, Bitcoin is not really considered risky anymore, right? And you can see that here as well. QT, Bitcoin doesn't give a fuck, right? Bitcoin goes up. It feels like, doesn't matter, QT. I just go up. I don't care about this anymore. However, altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, you can see that this follows perfectly. You can see on the chart, actually, the only time we don't have an alt season is when there is QT. And that's based on the last 10 years, right? We don't have QT, right? Alt season. Have QT, stop of alt season. No QT, QE, right? Alt season. Here's QT, no alt season. So, and that makes me a lot bullish, because then, like I said earlier, then that's a guarantee that alt season will happen, right? Because the balance sheet cannot go to zero. They will print. So yeah, and if there's more money in the world, hey, people take risk with that money. So yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely very correlated. A 3x will do in one day if we are in a parabolic phase. People are crazy, and there are a lot of influencers talking shit. Like, yeah, no, these influencers are smart. They building a brand, a company, a business, and they tell people what they want to hear, right? If it goes down, they'll be like, "Oh, these thumbnails, like, ah, fuck." But yeah, they make more money than I do. Can't hate on that, right? It's not ethical, right? This Miles Deutsche kind of, like, they could have some good content here and there, but then again, they really want to make sure that you watch, right? And I sometimes feel like, man, if people don't watch, because I don't know, I don't like it. But yeah, in this phase of the market, we cannot even imagine how it is to be in that parabolic phase, right? Oh, but it's gonna be so epic. It's gonna be so epic, and it's gonna wreck so many people out there. Um, so yeah, can we 10x our portfolios? You know, it depends on where you buy and on where you sell, of course. But it's getting more and more likely, of course, right? Like I said, if you ask people months ago, they would have said yes. And now that we are further from the target, so more access, people will say no, right? It's what it is. It's what it is. But yeah, it's more likely to do that. And again, one nice little reason is that the others dominance, for example, right? If you look at the altcoin dominance, it's now sitting at 8.5% or so, right? If you look at this, then you can say like, oh, yeah, it broke. Yeah, here also broke to the upside. Let's not be too judgmental with that. I think that the others dominance eventually it is likely to go towards 30. If not, then I would say 20, something like that, right? 20 will be pretty conservative in my opinion. You have to imagine that once the altcoin hype gets going, it goes hard, right? Then it's like, oh my God, altcoins are going up. Like, everybody's about altcoins. Like, now you can imagine, but if you've been there before, you know how fast that can change. If that goes to 20%, and the total crypto market is sitting now at $3 trillion, right? 3 trillion. 20%, 600 billion, right? But that again will be 20%, which is low, and no new money flowing into the crypto market. While this is the most bullish chart that I've ever seen in crypto, this will be higher. But 600 billion. Yeah, that's already more than a 2x for others, right? More than a 2x for others. Oh, that is, well, let's say here, right? But you have to imagine again that some altcoins outside of the top 125, they move so much harder than this chart. Again, a lot of coins that people were really bullish on, like a popcat or that squirrel with a gun, or how it's called, peanut, by the way, that got wrecked really hard, right? But you'll know that once it turns around. I'm not saying these coins will, but look, when the altcoin market was at its highs here, it went down with 40% from the highs. While, for example, Popcat went from one, yeah, 1.9, $2 basically, to like 20 cents. It got wrecked 10 times as hard, basically, or 5 times as hard. Yeah, a lot of coins can also go up 5 times as hard, right? And I think that like a 10x is so easy if the market keeps on going down like this. Especially if we get here, then yeah, here I'm gonna go all in. But this will be the COVID of 2025. Unlikely, but if it happens, then whoa, I'm there, right? I'm there. And it's all bullish. I mean, Bitcoin, you can say whatever you want. In every bull market, right? Everyone, my head is a little in the, where can I place my head? Yeah, let me do there. Every bull market, Bitcoin goes close to, or at least very close to the upper band, right? Here, 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 and here. Now we didn't even leave the lower band yet. So I also think that a lot of people, I don't know, man, based on this, Bitcoin can go really high. Even if we top out early in May and we go somewhat close to the upper band again, that's a 250K Bitcoin. And that's like if we top out early. If we top out like we usually do, it's 300K. And it sounds like, what the fuck? But it happens every single freaking cycle. I'm not saying it will, but it's also, I'm not saying that it can't, because the most likely outcome is this. Yeah, and then if there's so much money in the market, and the narrative with a strategic reserve, etc., it doesn't surprise me, right? And if then a little part of that money flows into altcoins, dude, insane. And so far, we are following 2017. So it's also not that like, oh, it's so different. It's a freaking same. 2017, we did 111x though, right? We won't do that this time. But like from Bitcoin, from like 15K to let's say 300K. I'm not saying 300K is my target, but that's 20x, right? That would be here, this point, right? This here. So then we still skip like the biggest part of 2000. Like I don't know. I wouldn't be too bullish, of course, but I also would be bullish enough. Yeah, look, this people said many more times. There are millions of coins, 30 million plus now. Last cycle it was only 5k. Not really. I get your point, but I hope you're still here because this is not like a problem. There are now 38 million coins. Top of the last alt season cycle, there were 3 million. Yeah, that's a 12, 13x increase, right? However, from 2017 alt season, there were 13,000. Up till here, we're 3 million. That's more than a 200x increase. So from 2017 to 2021, there was way more inflation, but it didn't stop alt season in 2021 at all, right? Also, again, you can see that this yellow, more than 20 million coins out of all these coins are on Solana. They are already dead and rugged and not there anymore. So the liquidity isn't going there. So you say like, hey, the money is distributed over so more coins. It isn't, because all these coins don't exist anymore. It's not a problem. That's not standing in the way. I get that people look at it like that, but most like, and you can see it right there, especially on Pump Fun, right? 50,000 coins are created the last 24 hours, but only 250 actually went to the market, right? It's a percent, no, 0.5%, 0.5%. So 99.95% or 99.95%, they don't take the liquidity because they don't exist anymore already. And the ones that do hit the market, yeah, they do flow around somewhere, but maybe with a 100k market cap, like they also mostly don't take the liquidity. So this is the last thing that I'm concerned about. The last thing. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you, and thank you very much. Trump coin took most of the liquidity. I don't know. It also kind of helped, right? Because they were really pushing like you can buy it with credit card, etc. So it also, I don't know, maybe put in a little more money in the market and they take it out of the Trump coin and put it somewhere else. I don't see it as a bad thing necessarily. And if people say like, yeah, but Trump, they are rugging or whatever, Trump is buying Ethereum, so he puts it back into the market himself. It's fine, right? I don't care. It's okay, man. I don't. So it wasn't that much. Like, yeah, it was a couple billion. But then again, if you look at the total low cap market at the moment, that's 270 billion, right? So it was just a fraction of that. So thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Still sick. Yeah, but we have to go on. Web3 whales, 10x from here. Look, I'm the founder. I can tell that, but how can I say it without saying it? You can actually do the math. There's a way to do the math. We have a Git book. It shows how much we invested. You can calculate that even if it all does a 1x, how much money is coming back. If we put that money partly in the token with the current liquidity, you can calculate what the price can be only based on that. I'm not saying what it will be, but it can. Problem is most of us need a 4 or 5x to break even. Yeah, and look, and therefore that's true. A lot of people, they need a lot of, and therefore I would say this is gonna suck what I'm gonna say right now, but get a double job. And if you are so far away from your original entry, lower your average cost, because then you only need a 2.5x or whatever to play even, right? I mean, you were bullish enough to buy a lot of coins high, then yeah, the coins haven't changed, right? Your conviction has. at least lower your entry, I would say. Sol went from 8 to 90. Yeah, Sol was an insane one, right? Like crazy. Trading view course coming to the Alpha Factory. Yeah. I dream of a 10x on my total portfolio. Look, I think that with the current prices, it is like getting more and more doable. Actually, I mean, even if you buy something very boring as Ethereum, look, if you would have got Ethereum here at 2K, Ethereum to 10K seems like pretty reasonable to me, right? That's a 5x on the lowest risk coin, on the lowest risk altcoin in the entire market. Yeah, then some high risk coins can give you some, but it depends on your entry. That's the problem. Can coins 10x from here? Yeah, maybe, right? A lot will probably, but yeah, is this your entry? Depends. You only lose when you panic sell the bottoms. Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people are doing that right now. Yeah. Red and green make brown. If there was a brown, yeah, would be fucking funny if something goes sideways. Exactly, that would be brown. Can you tell my girlfriend it's worth to look at your stream? I will get rich. She's sick and tired of me occupying the TV. Is she watching now as well? In that case, it's an investment. He will be able to buy you your own TV someday. You can watch whatever you want. See it as an investment. We'll be okay. If you know, better see you next cycle. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if I'm like I don't know. I'm just a guy saying that I am bullish at the lows. Maybe it turned out that I was the worst YouTuber ever. Maybe. But maybe, and I hope in a year from now, we can look back and be like, yeah, we made the right call, right? I want to be sustainable as well. This is my job. Like I said, I don't shill shit. I don't clickbait you into whatever. So I don't get paid a lot by YouTube. So I want to be sustainable. That's what like for me, this is also an investment. So yeah, it's like for me, this is super important. I don't want to go back to whatever the fuck I did before. I don't even know what I did. I don't want to do that. So yeah, for me, there's a lot. Like a lot depends on this. I even have kids, man. So can you imagine that? Even like if I'm risking that, then I'm not just talking some bullshit. Like no. Can you look at peak? Yeah, I want to take a look at peak. Let me look. Peak. Let me take a look at the USD pair at least first. It's quite new, so it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, with peak, same thing. I mean, this showed like, hey, when the market is favorable, it does pretty well, and when the market isn't, it gets wrecked, right? But on the dollar pair, I would say this is an area of buying, actually, right? If you look at peak on its Bitcoin pair, then yeah, not much different because Bitcoin and this existence of peak haven't changed much. So yeah, if you want to buy it anyway, like it's super high risk based on the fact that the chart is new and that it's sitting at lows. But if you want to buy it anywhere, then this is the place, right? Yeah, can it go down to the lower side of this range, down another 25? Of course. But yeah, somebody said crypto lol, the same dude who will tell you to buy the all-time high and buy his bags off all-time lows. All season definitely. I just don't like crypto banter that much, man. You know that probably, but it's more that they are working on their business and they're doing that well, and I can learn a lot from that, and I have a lot of respect for that. But unfortunately, the actual honest content and the credibility that they should earn from their viewers, that's suffering for that, and that's where it goes too far for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for me, man. I get that the shows are nice and they organize it well, but clickbait and changing minds above being honest to your viewers is for me a no-go. I bought too many coins. Now I'm streamlining, which I have shit done at start. Yeah, I would say same for me, by the way. And what I'm doing lately is put my coins in a watch list on TradingView. Therefore, I don't want to sell you into the Alpha Factory, but it's really helpful right there. A lot of interesting, like exclusive videos, but also one-on-one calls. If you ever want to, go over your portfolio with me, whatever, let's do that. There's a giveaway there, so you're basically free. But therefore, also want to give that TradingView course, like. It's so helpful to look at the right things. And what I did is just made a watch list with my coins and on their Bitcoin pair. Again, because if they suck against Bitcoin, I don't want to be there with these altcoins if Bitcoin ever goes down really hard, right? So I capitulated on some altcoins that were underperforming, that made really like all-time lows against on their Bitcoin pair, and put it into coins that show like, whoa, we have bottom, right? Like Tau, for example, it's close and it could turn into a big bleeder. And then again, if I look at the chart, I'd be like, this one is holding it, man. And these levels are historically like, so I'm gonna put it in the stronger ones. Once altcoin bounces, then Tau also shows like, hey, from that point, 200% against Bitcoin, right? What if Bitcoin also goes up by then? Crazy. So make a good list for yourself, I would say. Is it not better to wait until QT stops? It's only when QT stops when we can have alt season. Yeah, well, yeah. Look, kind of two things. Like I said earlier, altcoins can still go up really hard on their Bitcoin pair, even with QT. It did it a couple times, and it could happen now as well. I think a lot of people are thinking like this. And I also think that once QT stops, there will be some kind of a reversal, actually. Here, QT stopped, right? And it was like a reversal right away. And then something, whatever the fuck happened. But it reversed quite fast. And there wasn't really accumulation, right? It was no accumulation, really. It was just whoosh, V-shape. And you might miss out on a lot, especially now a lot of people are focused on QT, QE. You can do it. I mean, but yeah, it could also be that altcoins are already going up before QT is gonna come, and then you miss out on a big part of it. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, look, actually, here altcoins on the Bitcoin pair bottomed, but here QE began, right? So it's like it was already front running a little bit. We're in a downtrend. Really? Depends what yeah, depends on the chart. I mean, it's the same as, are we in a bull or a bear market? Depends per coin. Bitcoin is in an uptrend. Altcoins overall are in an uptrend. Ethereum is in an uptrend, but Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair is in a downtrend. Ethereum or altcoins on their Bitcoin pair is in a downtrend. So it kind of depends what you look at. It's time to get rich. Time to buy Bitcoin and short all altcoins. Oh yeah. This is also beautiful. Look, this is the typical bottom sentiment, right? Can you like short the altcoin market on the short term in hope that you catch a good trade? Yeah. The risk reward, is it worth it in a bull market? No. Yeah, I mean, look, if you look at a coin on its dollar pair, and you are good at trading, which I sincerely doubt you are, because you are mostly commenting on everything that you are so wrecked. Um, but then and you feel like, oh, let me short that coin because I'm a good trader. That's possible in any kind of market, right? That's possible at any time frame, any kind of market. But if you now look, and I think that that's what you're doing, at the overall market, and the market is now sitting at the lows, and now you feel like, let's short. Like, did you use your brain as leverage? Like, have you lost that? Like, um, but this is the typical, hey, we are in the stage where Bitcoin does well, and altcoins don't do well yet, so let's short altcoins. Do you look at this chart? People who here were shorting altcoins, how did that go? But it's like, maybe you get a good trade out of it, and you will say, I was right, and that could happen. But be careful. Shorting in a bull market is simply like, no, like, yeah, it can work well for a while, but at a certain point you can, that's the danger. You sound like you bought, you got wrecked, now you try to revenge trade, right? And if the market goes up, then you lose even if the market goes up. Pick a side, right? Be bullish at the bottom, buy and have patience, or be bearish at the bottom, and if it goes up, miss out, right? But you came into crypto for a reason, especially altcoins, and that's, I guess, not in first instance to short the market, because the market overall is in an uptrend. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, altcoins on the dollar pair, Bitcoin. So yeah, it's not smart in my opinion. What about Destra? On the dollar pair, it is getting close, right? It just came out of a good buying opportunity, actually. By the way, guys, if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a like. But desync, I mean, every time this level was a great buy. So that looks fantastic. Desync on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, it should look like the rest of the market, man. Well, in fact, yeah. How does it look to you? I mean, if this is the downside of the range, and if this is the top side of the range, again, guys, we can choose to be bearish here and bullish here, but you can also look at these kind of charts and be bullish here and bearish here. That's kind of how you make money. And in this case, I would say desync, bullish. Is that a guarantee that it cannot do this? It can do that. I think we all understand that, but it's a matter of chances and odds, right? And yeah, here you have it. Beautiful chart, actually. A beautiful chart. What do you think about Supraya? I went over it a couple times. I have a little bit. Chart wise, not fantastic, but not ultimately wrecked. But it's a newer coin, especially in this stage of the market. People don't have a lot of faith. It has a lot to prove. It could be a banger, but I will be a little cautious with newer and lower cap things until the market has really showed that it turns around, and then these kind of things are interesting for me. Subbed, thanks, welcome, bro. Appreciate you. Really cool. If prices go up, they also come down at, if prices go up, they also come down at this phase of the market. It's just too risky to look. The answer is, if you feel uncomfortable buying right now, then you should not buy, because you should not do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Because otherwise you're gonna eventually, take it out anyway or whatever. I think that that's the right answer. And if you are the type of investor that feels like, hey, I don't care if I miss out on a part of the upside move as long as I have more confirmation at the moment that I buy, then that's great, right? That's maybe even better for a lot of people. If you feel like, man, I'm just time-wise, chart-wise, whatever, we are somewhat close to the bottom. We can go a little lower, maybe not. I don't care. I'm just DCA right now. also a great approach. I don't think that there is good or bad in this case, really. And that's the thing, that there's no good or bad, right? And if someone shows their strategy, there's always some fucktard that says, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." Like, man, who are you to tell that we are doing something wrong? If you did everything right, you were a billionaire. You wouldn't be shitting on people on the internet if you made it already, right? So we are all trying to do our best, and I think that this approach is very, like, it's somewhat on the safer side. And being a little safe in this market right now can't hurt, right? So yeah, it's completely yeah. Um, yeah, there's more upside, and look, we never know, but probably, yeah, probably. Smash the likes, yeah, smash those, smash, 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 smash. 1.5 hours. You guys have no clue how much I got to pee since I started this stream. But I like it that there are so many people in here. But overall, I am looking at the market. One more thing that I want to mention myself, but I made a full video on it. There is a point in the market where I'm gonna go all in. That will be the point where I will be emotional as well. So I already want to tell you that. But if you look at the market, altcoin market, we had a bear market, right? We had a run up of 317%. Cool. We had a run up of 390%. Close, right? Then we had a mid-cycle correction of 59%. Here we had a mid-cycle correction of 59%. Then we had another run-up of 150%. Here we had another run-up of 190-something%. Freaking the same all the time, right? Then here we went down with 70% because COVID. Whatever the reason is, so far we went down with 50%. If we repeat the half of that last step as well, and we do go down 70%, it will take us here to the major point of resistance, support. I don't know what has to happen to get there. I'm not saying we will. I don't think that chance is likely. If we get there, I'm going all in, because that's the COVID level of 2025. Now you tell me, was this a good buy or not? Right? That was like, this is where you, like, if you bought somewhere, most people will buy once we're up here, right? And if you ride the full bull market, you make 20x nice, right? But if you buy it down here, make 70x. That difference is so sick. So a lot of people will not be here anymore if this happens. But if that happens, man, fuck, that's the opportunity of a lifetime. But I think that chance is around 15-20% we get there. Why you look at some new altcoins / Bitcoin? Of course, they are down bad. Take a look at Peak or why you look at some new? Will you look at some new altcoins? I think. But yeah, no, take a look at Peak or AIXPT. I took a look at AIXPT earlier, and AIXPT should be here. AIXPT USDT divided by Bitcoin. Yeah, and look, that's the thing, right? Like, oh, it was already here. I find them a little bit dangerous, right? Because these newer altcoins, they were in the moment where there was a big hype. We first had the meme coin hype, then we had the AI agents hype, and sometimes I wonder, like, how much is sustainable and how much is hype, right? This coin went up very hard, but it also, in the last, not even in the last 3 weeks, it went down with 75%, right, against Bitcoin. So I feel like, let's see how this plays out. Peak on its Bitcoin pair. Yeah, we already checked that out, by the way. Also at the lows. So a lot of them look like, okay, they are a better buy than ever. Then again, it's also a lot riskier, as you have no clue, like, is this coming back or not? But therefore, the reward is potentially so high. Appreciate you, man. Thanks. Haven't checked my portfolio yet. I'm too scared. I was also in this period. I haven't checked my portfolio, and last week I did it. I felt like, okay, let's do it. I was like, okay, I should have not done that. No, it wasn't that bad. But it is good to do that, right? Because then at least you know where you are and where you can potentially go. Can you suggest to which coin to convert Ultra and Volkswagen, maybe Bean or Super? I would like you said, I would rather buy Beam and Super than Ultra and Volkswagen. Ultra and Volkswagen, this Ultra on its Bitcoin pair. And if I look at this chart, I'd be like, I don't know why this box here. Oh, yeah, therefore. But Ultra fucking wrecked, right? Can it go up again? Yeah. Problem is, it so far showed that it won't, right? In the last 4 years. So why would it now, right? And with Volkswagen, it's kind of the same thing. New lows after new lows after new lows. This is such a weak altcoin. So therefore, I feel like, yeah, I personally also rather hold Super. Like, are you buying the lows? No, but this at least shows that it can hold the lows, and that's kind of important, right? By the way, Super is now in a beautiful opportunity right here. This is really a good one, actually. Now we're talking about it. Thanks for that. But this whole area here, uh, nice. But yeah, exactly like you said, I would do something like that probably. What do you think about your Dutch colleague, Crypto Rover? Don't. I'm not watching his content. I see him sometimes on Twitter, but I think I blocked him because he's a little cloud farmer. I don't like it. But yeah, I mean, he does his thing, but I'm no, it's not my type of person. How's Chainlink looking? Getting there. I'm willing to buy it. Look, this is Chainlink right now. And Chainlink is a big coin. It's a good one. And it's now really in the area where I feel like, ooh, interesting. So I will stack up on some Chainlink soon. I gotta pee. I hope. Jesus, why are so many people here? Okay, stop talking. I'm gonna round it up and I'm gonna pee. Got some E for $300 from 2020. Should I convert them into another alt maybe? Hey, good trade, man. Yeah, what you can do is it depends on what altcoin you are bullish on, but you can always look at that altcoin on its Ethereum pair. What I look at right now, others, the top 125, excluding top 10 on its Ethereum pair, is quite high. So this more says to me like that altcoins are probably have now more room to go down against Ethereum. Doesn't mean that altcoins go down. Could also be that Ethereum now first is gonna have an insane run, right? But always like check out the individual altcoin. Like for example, we here have Chainlink, right? How is Chainlink looking on its Ethereum pair, for example, right? And this is how it's looking like. So would I now buy Ethereum or Chainlink with Ethereum? Not really, right? It's more high against Ethereum. So I would actually say like, okay, maybe it's a good thing if you have Chainlink to put it in Ethereum. So that depends per altcoin actually. But if you look at a chart like that, then you can find out, apart from the narratives, which charts also back up the idea to do that. Bearish MD cross on the weekly time frame interval for Bitcoin and other chart concerns me. Let me take a look. MACD cross on the weekly. What I do like when it comes to the MACD, by the way, is if you put it on the 2 week, before I get into what you were saying, by the way, bearish cross. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but it could be right, like that. Like we also had a bearish cross right here, and eventually that the MACD is always a little delayed, right? It's not a projection or a prediction or anything. Here it crossed, but it crossed in the week that we capitulated, and then we started to go up, and the MACD started to go down. So it could be that it now crossed because we just had this crash. What I do think is interesting on the MACD, by the way, is if you look at this chart, people will look at this and be like, fuck, it's over for altcoins. Look, top, top, top. Cool. But if you look at this top right here, for example, on the MACD, the first top came in when the altcoin market just broke out. Not when it topped, right? But when it just broke out. And then it was like still had to go to all-time highs and right? We just had that first stop right now, and now we kind of, that second top that we're gonna make could lead toward that new all-time high. So in first instance, it might look bearish, but if you look a little closer, it could be actually pretty bullish. 10x on a coin that you're already down is barely break even from your investment. Yeah, but therefore, get a fucking job. Sorry. Like, what I mean is lower your entry, right? Apparently, you were bullish enough to buy a coin when it was really high, right? Like a DAI, again, to put this example, this is just a coin that I remember that has such a chart, right? If you are bullish enough to buy a coin here, here, yeah, okay, fine. I mean, if you didn't look at the charts and you went a little bit into the sentiment, whatever, I get it. Now it's down. You bought a lot, apparently, without looking at the charts. That's how much you wanted the coin, right? Hey, same project right here, only the price is lower, right? That's a discount. So why not buy a little bit here as well? So you lower your average entry to this. So you only need a 3x or whatever to play even instead of a 10x. Is it now better to buy altcoins or ETH? Well, ETH is an altcoin. I get what you mean. Depends. There's always an altcoin that looks better than ETH. But overall, the overall altcoin market on its Ethereum pair is sitting quite high. So I do think that if you look at that, it's a better time to buy ETH now. Okay, you take a look at Turbo. I really want to round this up, guys. Turbo USD. Yeah, let's go with dollar pair for once. Turbo. It's not the right chart, I hope. Wait, Turbo USD. Should be something better than this. Yeah, crypto overall has it. Yeah, here we go. I mean, it was an outperformer for a long time. Problem is uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Distribution phase basically kind of broke it, retested, and now going down. And now it looks like it might try to hold this whole level right here. So that's nice. It really has to bounce right now. But if I look at Turbo going back to all-time highs, 4x give or take, yeah, possible. But chart is not looking really spectacular at now, basically. On its Bitcoin pair, shit. No history right there. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's real quick. Yeah, on its Bitcoin pair, nah, I would wait with this. Because this is the level, the huge level, basically. And it's now in the middle of a free fall, basically. Doesn't mean it cannot bounce out of nowhere, but the chances are a little hard right now. Mafia, I can already tell you that looks fucking terrible. But I can take a look at it. But Mafia is down only. I've charted this for someone. Down only, bounces sometime. Might want to wait for such a bounce and get out, right? I mean, Mafia is wrecked hard. Not touching that. Pal. Pal at least has something to go by. It's not much, but this whole area here for PAL looks good actually. It's such a clear freaking range when you have to sell the highs on this thing. By the way, this is really a range. This is a trading coin, really. Buy here, sell here, right? And yeah, maybe you will buy it here and it goes down, but the range overall is obvious. And from this point, that's already up 2x again, 3x against Bitcoin. So that's nice. Luckily, I'm 70% in Sol, and out of the few. In Sol, one of the few that outperforms Bitcoin, but I'm still down. Yeah, look, the thing that concerns me with Solana is that it's mostly driven by pump fund, and I don't think pump fund is really sustainable for a long time anymore. So I do feel like if people stop to gamble on pump fund, Sol can take a big hit. And chart wise, it is already weaker, right? Weaker. It's a strong fucking chart. Don't get me wrong. But it was in a clear uptrend, broke. When Trump launched its coin, it went to the trend line again, but it wasn't enough, and now it's below it. So it lost upwards momentum. Let me put it like that. But it's definitely not in a downtrend. And Sol, cannot say anything bad about Sol. It's fucking outperforming hard. Yeah. Can you look into VRA? Yeah. So VRA is in a buying zone right now. I don't hold it personally. Probably just because I hold too much coins, but chart wise, I would say fuck yeah. Like VRA, I mean, what better chance do you want, right? Goedemiddag. I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. It's been too long, really. But let me check. What's the point looking into different alts right now when everything is down? Just look at the total tree, because the total tree is a bullshit chart. Right? Like, I don't like the total tree at all. Why? Total tree includes USDT, USDC. Like, so how much, if the altcoin market is definitely is going down, then how much is this chart reflecting that? Because USDC and USDT are not going down. Also, this includes outperformers like Solana, right? But if we're not invested in that, then this chart is also not really helpful, right? Because then they keep up this chart, then we can better look at others, everything outside of the top 10, right? And more, even better, altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, because we know Bitcoin is holding up. So we just want to know how altcoins do against Bitcoin. But what's the point of looking into different alts when everything is down? Yeah, I mean, if you want to know how your alt is doing, then the total tree is not. Yeah, then can better take a look at your alt, basically. Yeah, the dilution about these altcoins. I don't really I don't really care about that. Like said, all these altcoins are dead already. Someone said you're the best Dutch YouTuber ever. Thanks. Now I want to upgrade to the best European, and appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I gotta wrap it up. This has been taking way too long. I had so much to do today, and now I'm here sitting live streaming for 2 hours. But thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you want to like the video, please like the video. I want to do this at least weekly. Awesome that you're so engaged. You guys are here. You're involved with crypto. That says something. Most people walked away. You didn't. So I can only say that it's going to be like you deserve it, man. Really. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys.